Lucian is one of the strongest early game AD carries you can play. With massive burst damage, you can easily bully your lane opponents, and in this Lucian guide, you get everything you need to know in less than 5 minutes. Lucian's short auto-attack range makes you somewhat susceptible to enemy poke lanes, but you are able to compensate for that with your dangerous all-in potential. You can deal enough damage in one single opening to either force the enemy out of lane or to outright kill them. In order to both create these situations and to capitalize off of them as hard as possible, you want to pair Lucian with support champions of similar all-in potential. Despite your all-in playstyle, however, Lucian works deceptively well with enchanter supports due to his passive. Lucian's passive has two parts to it. On the one hand, you get rewarded for weaving in auto-attacks between your spellcasts. This is pretty much what all champions should be doing during a fight anyway, but this really adds to the bursty nature of your trading patterns, giving you a huge edge when going all in. On the other hand though, Lucian's passive empowers your auto-attacks even more when you receive heals and shields from your allies. Hence, in an ideal world, your lane partner has both catch potential and enchanter qualities. Janna, Lux and Alistar come to mind here, but again, Lucian is so powerful early and so synergistic with a plethora of supports that you can effectively always blind pick him. Lucian's Q is the main reason why your burst damage is so high. While your enemy technically could dodge this spell, it is still very consistent. It is possible to use this as a poking tool by targeting minions when your lane opponents are positioned behind them, but you will still get the most value out of this in all-in situations when you can target your enemies directly. Lucian's W is nothing too special, and you will mainly use it for its utility or for an additional trigger for your passive. The movement speed is quite nice, however, since being able to reliably chase your target while fighting matters a lot due to your lower attack range. Far more impactful in that regard will be your E-spell though, especially when combined with the subscribe button. This is your main tool to get into range when an opponent is caught out of position. While having a dash on an AD carry is extremely strong, you also must be very mindful with it. Only use it aggressively when it is safe for you to do so, or else you might be getting baited with no way to escape or to outplay. Great power, great responsibility, you know. While all your basic spells are excellent tools for dueling, Lucian's ultimate takes this to the next level. Your single target DPS with this spell is just crazy, but there are a couple of things to keep in mind. Firstly, you have to make sure there are no enemy minions around, or else your opponent might simply hide behind them and use them as meat shields. Secondly, you have to first bait out your opponent's mobility spells, or else they can just jump out of your attacking line once you commit to an angle. And ideally, you also connect your W beforehand so you can run after them more easily with your superior movement speed and connect all your shots. Keeping your E ready as well so you can reposition in a pinch wouldn't hurt either. In order to optimally complement Lucian's all-in duelist playstyle, you go for Press the Attack, Presence of Mind, Legend Bloodline and Coup de Grace, with Biscuit Delivery and Magical Footwear secondary. While Press the Attack is a strong AD carry keystone in general, it is especially potent on bursty all-in champions. For Lucian, it is naturally a perfect fit, and you trigger it effortlessly in even the shortest trades due to your passive double shots. There won't be no double shots, however, if you don't have access to your spells, so Presence of Mind and Biscuit Delivery are must-haves as well. I know I say it every time, but Magical Footwear is just the perfect ADC rune, since ADC champions are all about item power spikes. Not needing to buy boots with your own gold means you can spend that gold on actual items instead to get these power spikes much faster. These items are, of course, carefully picked to fully enable Lucian's playstyle by enhancing his strengths. Your first purchase is always Gale Force. Having an additional dash while also dealing execute damage makes your all-ins that much more deadly. Your second item is Essence Reaver, completely eliminating all mana issues forever, while also adding even more burst damage. Since you need to weave in auto attacks between spells anyway in order to trigger your passive, you don't need to do anything special to get value from Spellblade. You will trigger Essence Reaver very much organically without any extra effort. Your third item is the typical Marksman Infinity Edge Power Spike, and while Lucian is indeed a spell-based champion, crit items are still the way to go. Not only do you use auto attacks a lot with your passive, but your ultimate also directly scales with critical strikes. Speaking of which, your last Whisper item of choice is interestingly enough Cyrilda's Grudge. Yes, Lord Dom's would be nice for the extra crit, but Grudge comes with extra ability haste and a perma-slow effect on Lucian's ultimate, which are all in all more valuable than what Lord Dom's could offer. If the game is still going at this point, the enemy ADC will probably start outscaling due to your low attack range. Anyway, sometimes you simply cannot finish early, so for your last item feel free to adapt to the biggest threat on the opposing team. Finishing early enough would be optimal, of course, so if you want to learn how true Lucian experts are doing it, just click the link on your screen right there.